The big issue I have is with Travis Hunter. She's crying herself to sleep. What in God's name would make you think that that's a good thing to tell the world? Why would you do that?
Stephen Smith had seen enough. After clips of Travis Hunter's wife crying on social media went viral, and with weeks of gold digger accusations piling up online, the outspoken ESPN host decided to confront Hunter directly on IG Live. And what he said would probably be the wake-up call that changes how Travis handles his marriage, his image, and what the world sees from him ever again. Let's break it down. Stephen A. Smith's unexpected defense. In the ruthless world of sports media, where controversy generates clicks and drama drives dollars, Stephen A. Smith has built an empire on bold takes and uncompromising opinions. So when he chose to address the Travis Hunter and Leanna Linney controversy, few could have predicted the direction his commentary would take. The conventional wisdom suggested that Smith would either ignore the personal drama entirely or perhaps offer some generic advice about keeping private matters private. Instead, Smith delivered a defense of Leanna Linney that was both passionate and specific, demonstrating how responsible media figures can use their platforms to shield rather than exploit vulnerable individuals. But to understand the full impact of Smith's intervention, we must first grasp the magnitude of the digital assault that Travis Hunter's fiancée had been enduring. This wasn't just typical celebrity gossip or harmless speculation. This was a systematic campaign of character assassination that had escalated to devastating proportions. The controversy had reached a boiling point when old videos and alleged direct messages from 2020 to 2021 resurfaced on their wedding day, May 24, 2025, creating a perfect storm of controversy that threatened to overshadow one of the most important days of their lives. The timing wasn't coincidental. It was calculated, malicious, and designed for maximum damage. The leaked content painted a picture that social media vultures were eager to exploit. Videos allegedly showed Lene dancing with another man at a party, and purported Instagram DMs suggested flirtatious exchanges. The authenticity was questionable, the timeline was unclear, and the intent was clearly malicious. But in the court of public opinion, evidence standards are often abandoned in favor of sensational narratives. This is where Stephen A. Smith's media literacy and understanding of manipulation tactics became crucial. Rather than accepting the narrative at face value like so many others had done, Smith chose to apply journalistic standards to the situation. Smith emphasized the unclear timeline of Hunter and Lene's relationship, suggesting that the videos and messages might predate their exclusivity. This wasn't just defending Lene, it was teaching his audience how to think critically about information presented without context. When Smith took to his platform to address the situation, his words carried the weight of institutional authority and decades of media experience. What he said would reverberate through the sports world and beyond.
Now I want to get into a story I've seen percolating in the headlines and social media. And that's about Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and his fiancée, Leanna Linney. For some reason, these two young people feel the need to hit the social media airwaves to defend their relationship in front of the world.
But Smith's commentary took an unexpected turn as he began to defend the young couple rather than criticize them. His most powerful statement came when he addressed the unfair judgment being placed on Leanna. "I don't want to hear about anything she may have done years ago. She's a young lady, come on y'all. She ain't some seasoned grown woman who's experienced in living her life, manipulating things. She's a young lady, mistakes happen." Stephen A. Smith defending Leanna Linney. The power of Smith's defense lay not just in what he said, but in how he said it. This wasn't a perfunctory statement issued for public relations purposes. It was a passionate argument rooted in empathy and understanding. Smith highlighted Lenny's age, 23 at the time, and argued that she was a young lady prone to mistakes, not a seasoned grown woman manipulating situations. But Smith's defense went beyond just protecting Linney from unfair criticism. He directly addressed the young couple, offering guidance that showed both wisdom and tough love.
What are you doing? Leanna, what are you doing? Before I go any further on this subject, let me fully explain. She also went on to explain her actions following Colorado's last home game, where fans wondered why she didn't seem to give him a hug. And then she explained to fans why she didn't respond to Travis when he first tried to holler via a DM.
Smith's frustration was evident as he continued to address what he saw as a strategic mistake by the young couple.
First of all, Leanna, you are his lady, you are his fiancée, you are about to be his wife. Why are you explaining to the world how much you care about him? Does he know? That's all that matters. You are on camera, your voice cracking.
The media veteran then delivered what would become one of his most memorable pieces of advice about dealing with public scrutiny.
That's the cruel world we're living in. You gotta be stronger than that. You gotta have alligator skin. You're a young lady, a beautiful young lady who one would surmise completely loves her man and is looking forward to spending the rest of your life with him. Congratulations. But it's about him, not about what other people think about you with him.
Smith then turned his attention directly to Travis Hunter, delivering some of his harshest but most necessary criticism.
The big issue I have is with Travis Hunter. She's crying herself to sleep. What in God's name would make you think that that's a good thing to tell the world? Why would you do that? You think they're gonna feel sorry for her? You think they're gonna have compassion? You don't see these trolls out here, bruh?
His message became even more pointed as he addressed Hunter's future in professional sports.
Don't give in to that. You're about to go into the National Football League. That's what you're about to do. You're about to get paid. In my eyes, this should be your most selfish time. You need to think about the people that you're involving in your life. How close-knit they are. Do they keep things internal? They're gonna go on social media and express themselves.
Smith supported the couple's decision to deactivate their Instagram accounts, suggesting that stepping away from social media was a wise move to avoid further public dissection of their relationship. This wasn't just practical advice, it was a recognition that sometimes the only way to win a rigged game is to stop playing entirely. Smith concluded his commentary with perhaps his most important advice. Drawing from years of experience watching young athletes navigate fame,
don't do it. Take it from your boy Stephen A, because you know I'm rooting for you. First of all, I think she's beautiful. I think y'all a beautiful couple. I wish you nothing but the best. Secondly, you got Prime. Talk to your coach. That brother knows. They came after him too, and look at how he's shining.
The veteran commentator ended with a reference to comedian Cat Williams, delivering a final piece of wisdom about handling criticism.
Let me tell you something, bro. Listen to Cat Williams. You got 50 haters, man, you should be happy you don't have 100. 200, 500. Alligator skin, bro. Develop more of it. Let it roll right off your chest.
The timing of Smith's intervention was particularly significant. This wasn't just another celebrity couple dealing with tabloid speculation. This was a young black man at the pinnacle of his sport being told by strangers that his choice in partner was wrong. The racial and cultural dynamics at play added layers of complexity that Smith, with his deep understanding of African-American experiences in sports, was uniquely positioned to address. Smith echoed sentiments expressed by Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, who criticized celebrities like Dez Bryant, Bo Wow, and Godfrey for publicly commenting on Hunter's relationship rather than reaching out privately. Smith's support of Sanders' position wasn't just about defending Lene. It was about establishing principles for how public figures should handle private matters involving young people. The courage required for Smith's defense cannot be understated. Taking an unpopular position in defense of someone being widely criticized carries professional risks. In an industry driven by ratings and viral moments, choosing compassion over controversy isn't always the smart business move. Smith could have easily stayed silent or offered bland, non-committal commentary that offended no one. Instead, he chose to use his considerable platform to stand up for principles of fairness and human decency. But Smith's defense was also strategically brilliant. Rather than simply telling critics they were wrong, he educated them on why their approach was harmful. He argued that public commentary only amplifies unwanted attention and skepticism, essentially teaching his audience about the mechanics of how social media pile-ons develop and spread. What made Smith's defense particularly effective was his understanding of the generational divide at play. He recognized that young people's past behaviors, especially from years prior, should not be weaponized against them, particularly when the context, for example, relationship timeline, is ambiguous. This wasn't just media commentary, it was mentorship, the kind of guidance that successful young people desperately need but rarely receive from public figures. The response to Smith's defense revealed as much about the current state of public discourse as the original controversy itself. Some praised his wisdom and empathy, recognizing the rare sight of a powerful media figure using his platform to protect rather than destroy. Others criticized him for inserting himself into personal matters, missing the point that his intervention was necessary precisely because the personal had already been made devastatingly public. Smith's approach represented a fundamental choice that every person with a public platform must make: exploitation or elevation, destruction or protection, sensationalism or responsibility. His decision to choose the higher road would set the stage for how this entire controversy would be remembered and would influence how similar situations might be handled in the future. The controversy erupts when love meets public scrutiny. To truly understand the magnitude and importance of Stephen A. Smith's defense, we must journey back to where this devastating controversy began. Not with leaked videos or social media speculation, but with a moment of quiet hesitation that lasted mere seconds, yet would reverberate through the sports world for months to come. Travis Hunter, the 2024 Heisman Trophy winner and the Jacksonville Jaguars' prized rookie with a $46.65 million contract, thought his biggest battles would be on the football field. He was wrong. The most intense fights of his young life will be waged in the unforgiving arena of social media, where every gesture, every glance, every moment of hesitation becomes ammunition for an army of keyboard warriors hungry for drama. The catalyst for this explosive controversy wasn't a fumble or an interception. It was a moment that should have been pure celebration. On December 14th, 2024, at the prestigious Heisman Trophy ceremony, Travis Hunter was announced as college football's most outstanding player. It should have been the pinnacle of his college career, a moment of pure triumph shared with those closest to him. But in those crucial seconds when Hunter's name echoed through the auditorium, something happened that would change everything. His fiancée, Leanna Line, didn't immediately leap to her feet in celebration. She remained seated while Hunter's mother and Colorado coach Deion Sanders stood, creating a visual that millions would dissect frame by frame, word by word, emotion by emotion. The internet, that relentless machine of judgment and speculation, seized upon this moment with a ferocity that was both predictable and devastating. What should have been a celebration of academic and athletic excellence became a referendum on love, loyalty, and the true nature of support in relationships. Social media users interpreted this as a lack of support or enthusiasm for Hunter's achievement, with accusations flying faster than a Hunter touchdown pass.
When his name was called, I instantly was gonna, if you watch the video, you can see me like, but his mom didn't get up. So I was like, oh, maybe I don't get up, maybe I just sit here with her. So I sat there, and then y'all said Coach Prime had to tell me to get up. No, he didn't. He said, go get him. Go get your man. And once Travis stood up, but he didn't have to do that because I was going to do that anyway.
The explanation revealed a young woman trying to navigate the complex dynamics of family hierarchy and public expectation in real time. She wasn't being unsupportive. She was being respectful, trying to follow the lead of Hunter's mother, trying to ensure that the moment belonged to the family that had sacrificed so much to get their son to this pinnacle of success. But the internet had already made up its mind. The narrative was set, and facts were merely inconvenient obstacles to be ignored or twisted. The trolls emerged from their digital caves with familiar refrains that have haunted successful young black men for generations. Gold digger, she's not right for him. He can do better. These weren't just random comments. They represented a systematic campaign of character assassination directed at a young woman whose only crime was loving someone in the public eye. The incident sparked widespread backlash, with trolls amplifying the narrative that her behavior indicated issues in their relationship. But this wasn't an isolated incident. The pattern of scrutiny had been building for months, each public appearance dissected with the precision of a forensic investigation. Several incidents captured on video had sparked widespread criticism of Line and speculation about the health of their relationship. Every gesture, every expression, every moment of normal human emotion was weaponized against her. The Oklahoma State game incident, where Hunter attempted to kiss Line and she appeared to pull away, became another piece of evidence in the prosecution's case against their relationship. The most heartbreaking aspect of this digital assault wasn't just the volume of criticism, it was the devastating personal toll it took on a young woman who had committed her life to supporting her partner's dreams. Hunter revealed on a Twitch live stream that the backlash caused her significant emotional distress, leading her to cry herself to sleep after drinking heavily.
I know what I got. I know my girl been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just not starting to talk about me and just not starting to be with me. I feel the same pain that she feel. We're inseparable, bro. You know, you hurt, but you just cry yourself to sleep and you just be gone.
This raw admission from Hunter revealed the human cost of social media pile-ons. Behind the memes and jokes and viral moments was a real person, experiencing real pain, a young woman whose dreams of celebrating her partner's success had turned into a nightmare of public humiliation and character assassination. The criticism wasn't limited to anonymous social media users. High-profile celebrities began weighing in, adding their voices to the chorus of disapproval. Des Bryant posted on social media advising Hunter to end his relationship with Lenny, claiming she was not not right for him. While Bryant later deleted the post, the damage was done. The controversy had reached a level where former NFL stars felt comfortable publicly advising a young man to leave the woman he loved. Dr. Umar Johnson also inserted himself into the narrative, bringing racial dynamics into the conversation in ways that further complicated an already volatile situation.
Obviously, I have issues with it because I believe black men should be married to black women, and this looks like it's going to be another tragic tale of another multi-million-dollar black athlete who sooner or later is going to get divorced, and his non-black wife is going to run off with all of his career earnings.
The conversation had evolved from questions about supportiveness to broader debates about race, money, and the responsibilities of successful black athletes. What should have been a private matter between two young people in love had become a public referendum on everything from relationship dynamics to racial loyalty to financial responsibility. But perhaps the most insidious aspect of the entire controversy was how it demonstrated the impossible standards placed on partners of successful athletes, particularly young women. Liana Lene was expected to be perpetually enthusiastic, constantly supportive, and eternally grateful. Any deviation from this impossible standard was seen as evidence of character flaws or ulterior motives. The pressure became so intense that both Hunter and Lene temporarily deactivated their Instagram accounts in December 2024, essentially retreating from public life to protect their mental health and relationship. This decision, while understandable, was seen by critics as an admission of guilt rather than a reasonable response to harassment. Into this toxic environment stepped Stephen A. Smith, armed with the platform and credibility to change the narrative. His decision to defend rather than attack, to protect rather than exploit, would prove to be a turning point not just in this specific controversy, but in how media figures might approach similar situations in the future. The stage was now set for a confrontation between those who sought to destroy and those who chose to protect, between the mob mentality of social media and the principled leadership of responsible journalism. The question wasn't just whether Liana Lene deserved better treatment. It was whether the sports media industry would choose sensationalism over humanity when the stakes were highest. The celebrity pile on and other voices in the storm. While Stephen A. Smith chose to use his platform to defend Travis Hunter and Liana Lene, not everyone in the public eye took such a compassionate approach. What followed Smith's intervention was a revealing look at how different personalities chose to handle the controversy, some doubling down on criticism, others offering unsolicited advice, and a few providing additional support. This celebrity pile-on would demonstrate the stark difference between responsible commentary and opportunistic attention-seeking. The most disturbing aspect of this controversy wasn't just the anonymous social media trolls. It was how established public figures with massive platforms chose to insert themselves into the private lives of two young people, often without understanding the full context or considering the consequences of their words. Dr. Umar Johnson emerged as one of the most controversial voices in this saga, bringing racial politics into what should have been a private matter. His commentary went far beyond concerns about the relationship, delving into broader theories about black wealth and interracial relationships that many found problematic and divisive.
Yes, I have, and I saw that comedian Godfrey had responded to the news that Travis Hunter was engaged and that it had been purported that his fiance had stated that he originally was not her type, but that he had, and I'm paraphrasing here, he had since that time won her over. And with them being engaged, it appears that marriage will be coming at some point in the future.
Dr. Umar's commentary took a particularly harsh turn when he addressed what he saw as the financial implications of the relationship.
Obviously, I have issues with it because I believe black men should be married to black women, and this looks like it's going to be another tragic tale of another multi-million-dollar black athlete who sooner or later is going to get divorced, and his non-black wife is going to run off with all of his career earnings.
His criticism became even more pointed as he questioned Hunter's decision-making process.
But for him to be engaged already, and for him to be about to get married and he doesn't even have a prenuptial agreement, are you out of your mind, Travis Hunter? No disrespect to the young brother, I'm a fan, but bruh, slow this down.
Dr. Umar's commentary represented a troubling trend where public figures felt entitled to dictate the personal choices of successful young black men, using racial politics as justification for intrusive commentary. His approach stood in stark contrast to Stephen A. Smith's more measured and empathetic response. Another voice that emerged from the hip-hop community was Oshino, who offered a more nuanced but still concerning perspective on the relationship. His commentary revealed the generational divide in how people viewed young love in the spotlight.
you see the whole thing with the Heisman winner, Travis Hunter, and his girlfriend and everything else like that?
But you see, she responded to it too.
She did. See,
but it don't seem real to me. It don't seem authentic.
Oskino's observation touched on something that many older commentators seem to struggle with: the idea that young love could be genuine in an age of social media and public scrutiny.
see, you know, the thing that kind of bothers me about this whole thing is that these are young kids, man. This is young love. They're barely out of their teens.
Yeah, you know, but people
What
don't
are they,
think
like
about that.
21,
I don't even
22? Like, this is young love.
However, Oshino's commentary took a more ominous turn when he began to predict future challenges.
Once he gets in the league,
It's over. Anything you do,
when he
bro.
gets to the NFL,
Bro.
and he starts going to these clubs after the games,
What was that? What was
and
that?
he starts seeing actual real dimes constantly throwing themselves at him,
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
gonna be a little different.
This type of commentary, while perhaps well-intentioned, represented another form of the problem: the assumption that young relationships couldn't survive success, that temptation would inevitably destroy what appeared to be genuine love. The criticism wasn't limited to media personalities and social commentators. High-profile celebrities began weighing in, adding their voices to the chorus of disapproval. Des Bryant posted on social media, advising Hunter to end his relationship with Lene, claiming she was not right for him. While Bryant later deleted the post, the damage was done. The controversy had reached a level where former NFL stars felt comfortable publicly advising a young man to leave the woman he loved. Bo Wow also inserted himself into the narrative, offering unsolicited advice on the Club Shay Shay podcast about women who might sidetrack the goal, implying Lene could distract Hunter from his NFL career. He later clarified he wasn't dissing Hunter but wanted to wake him up based on his own experiences, a common refrain from older men who seem to believe their past mistakes should dictate young people's choices. The pile-on effect was both predictable and devastating. Each new voice that joined the criticism gave permission for others to do the same, creating a snowball effect that threatened to bury the young couple under an avalanche of unwanted opinions and advice. But perhaps the most troubling aspect of this celebrity commentary was how it revealed the double standards applied to successful young black men and their partners. While Hunter's athletic achievements were celebrated, his choice in romantic partner was treated as public property, subject to approval or disapproval from strangers who knew nothing about the actual dynamics of his relationship. The contrast between these opportunistic interventions and Stephen A. Smith's principled defense became even more stark when viewed side by side. Where Smith called for empathy and understanding, others called for separation and suspicion. Where Smith emphasized the importance of context and evidence, others trafficked in speculation and assumption. The most poignant moment in this entire saga came when Leanna posted a TikTok video in July 2025, originally filmed in December 2024, showing herself crying in a bathroom with a motivational sermon audio. The caption reflected on her personal growth, revealing the depth of pain that the celebrity criticism and social media attacks had caused, but also the strength she had found through faith and time. The video's caption read, "I wish I could go back and hug December me. The amount you can grow and develop in just 6 months of devoting your life to Jesus and getting away from the shackles of the world and social media is truly astounding." Leanna Lene, reflecting on her growth. Even this moment of vulnerability and spiritual growth was weaponized by critics, with the misinterpretation of the video as a recent event fueling baseless divorce rumors, despite no evidence of infidelity or separation. But for those who looked beyond the surface, it showed a young woman who had survived the celebrity pile-on and found strength in spirituality and personal development. The support that emerged for Leanna during this period stood in stark contrast to the celebrity criticism. Supporters like WNBA star Angel Reese commented, "So proud of you, BBB. The storm doesn't last forever," showing that not everyone in the public eye was willing to participate in the destruction of a young woman's character. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders also defended Hunter on social media, criticizing public figures like Des Bryant for commenting publicly instead of privately. Sanders' intervention was particularly powerful because it came from someone within Hunter's circle, someone who understood the pressures of being a young athlete in the spotlight. Despite the intense criticism and speculation from celebrities and social media personalities, there is no concrete evidence supporting claims of infidelity, divorce, or significant marital issues between Travis Hunter and Leanna Lene as of August 12, 2025. This fact alone speaks volumes about the gap between celebrity commentary and reality, highlighting how quickly false narratives can spread when amplified by influential voices. The couple's continued commitment to each other, as evidenced by their marriage and ongoing public displays of affection, proves that love can indeed survive the celebrity storm when it's real and when it's protected by people of good conscience like Stephen A. Smith. In a world that often seems determined to destroy rather than create, their story reminds us that there are still people willing to stand up for what's right, even when it's difficult, even when it's unpopular, even even when it means going against the crowd. The digital storm may rage, and celebrities may pile on, but love, real love, protected by real. People of conscience can indeed survive and thrive. If you enjoyed watching this video, then go ahead and click on any of the cards on your screen for more.